What up? What up? It is Alex, the Fantasy Football Hustler, and I'm bringing you 6 defenses that you can stream for week 7. You got to be making moves with that defensive spot every single week. There might be times where you drop the defense so you can pick up a waiver wire guy, and then you pick up a defense later in the week. That's one strategy you could definitely deploy. We're going to start with some of my least favorite teams, and then we're going to make our way all the way to my favorite picks. So sit back, buckle up. We got 6 defenses to talk about, all rostered in under 50% of leagues. My first team here is the Indianapolis Colts. I feel like you have to be a little bit desperate to pick up the Colts, but they are 26% rostered. So 3 out of 4 leagues, they are available. They're going up against the Dolphins. This is all about the matchup. The defense is decent, but this is more about the matchup than anything. We know that Tua is not going to be back yet. So the Colts, you should be picking them up and deploying them, and they are readily available. Now, here's another team you got to be a little bit desperate to go grab. Talking about the Washington Commandos. They played Baltimore this past week, so obviously they didn't put up a bunch of points.
Well, obviously,
I don't think anybody thought they were going to put up a bunch of points, but this week, now they're going up against the Panthers. The Panthers, they've been giving up some booty to the team defense, and Commandos are probably only 4% rostered because they got dropped because they played Cleveland right before that, and they had a really solid game, their best game of the season. Now going up against the Panthers, I feel like you can pick them up.
pick them up.
And fire them up.
All right, fire them up.
So the Jaguars, if you're a little bit desperate, they would be a team to pick up. Only 4% rostered. They really haven't done good many games this year, but they're the home team in London, and they've been there playing now for 2 weeks in a row. So they're going to have the upper hand on a guy like Drake May. We know a fresh QB like Drake May can make some mistakes. At least the Jaguars do have a pretty good secondary, even though they have some injuries to a handful of other positions. So I think that if you're desperate, this is one of those teams you jump to the bottom of the trash can and you use if you have to. That's kind of one of the only reasons I'm using them, is really if you have to, though. The ugliness keeps coming and coming for your defenses to stream, but I'm bringing up the Bengals. They really haven't been the best. They've actually been pretty bad for most of these games, but they did have one of their best games of the season against the Giants. And now they got the Cleveland Browns. We know it's going to be a really tough game. Probably going to be a low-scoring game for the Browns. It's going to be Nick Chubb's first game back, so I bet he's not getting some insane amount of work right away. So the Bengals, if you dare,
pick them up.
Because the Browns have been very bad and giving up a lot of points to team defense. I got 2 teams to talk about here. The New Orleans Saints are going to be one of them. They're going up against the Denver Broncos. We have seen 2 versions of the Denver Broncos. The Saints are going to be at home. So I assume that we're going to see the not so good version of the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix, he can throw a big old greasy pick. And we know that their offense more often than not is not in sync. So the Saints, I would go pick them up. They are 34% rostered as of now. So available in 2/3 of leagues out there. I made it all the way to the number 6 team, which is my favorite team to pick up if they are available. It is the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are only rostered in 46% of leagues, so they do make the cut being under 50%. I bet that a lot of managers will be dropping the Packers because they are going up against the Texans. They are still my favorite streaming, even though they are going up against the Texans, because they have been so solid at all forms of defense, whether it is getting a handful of fumbles, whether it's getting interceptions or not, whether it's getting to the quarterback, even though they didn't get to Kyler this past week. They have been pretty solid at all phases of the defense, and most games, they've been looking like their defense is kick ass out there. You look here, if you're on YouTube looking, there's only 2 games where they had single digits. Be on the lookout, because even if the Packers are not available in your league right now, I bet you could be in a league that someone drops them because they don't want to go up against the Houston Texans. I say still make that play. The Packers are at home. Let's do it. And there you have it. There is week 7 edition of the Defenses to Stream. Make sure you are here weekly. I hit week after week on these defenses that you need to pick up and stream. And in addition to the defense, I got all the offensive positions as well. So hit that subscribe and then check out one of these videos that's popping up around you, because one of these guys may actually win you your season. It starts right now. Make these pickups. Do not rest on your laurels.